Welcome back to Outdoor Blacktivities. Here today we are partnered with Wild Earth Llama Adventures, Stuart and Leah here in Taos, New Mexico. Come with me. We are going to go and trek the Rio Grand Gorge with a pack of llamas and also have lunch with them. It was a phenomenal experience. If you guys are ever in the New Mexico area, I highly recommend you guys meet up with Stuart and Leah. So the trek started with us 7,000 feet above sea level at the very top of the gorge, in which we then trekked down and we got to a place to where I felt comfortable to start recording with the drone because it was very, very high elevation, right? And if you want to see a lot of the POV and background footage and the more interpersonal interactions with the llamas, check out my shorts because that's where I'm going to upload my POV videos from my Ray-Ban Metas. Also, check out my Instagram as well for any more crazy photos or shots that I got to take. As you can see, we started up here at the very top of this gorge, and we made our way down to the final switchback, which was like safe for me to walk the llama and lead the pack, as well as work the drone. And Stuart was such an incredible navigationalist to where he noticed that a couple of the people in our group were having, a hard time with the llamas, and he stopped back and was like, "Hey, Ricky, dude, you lead, you're doing your thing." He felt confident in me, and I felt confident with the llama, so I trekked forward and I started capturing us in the moment and everything. The coolest piece, I had absolutely no clue that this wild bighorn ram was on the switchback right below us. I didn't see this ram at all on the drone screen. I didn't see this bighorn ram until I came back to edit the footage. And when I saw the bighorn ram, it blew us away because the llamas alerted us, and we were just, we just thought the llamas were being weird in the moment. They just kind of stopped and we were like, okay, cool. And then we trekked forward. Unbeknownst to us, this ram was right below us. Had no clue. Such a phenomenal experience to see this ram. At this point, we stopped because, again, we thought the llamas were just being weird, right? So we continued on, and I got us, perfectly in frame and everything. This switchback was probably the easiest one to, whip out the drone and start recording. And also, the drone, the buzzing noise kind of scared the llama. So I had this awesome, wide-angle shot with the drone capturing our moment. And if you don't know anything about llamas are actually pretty much chill, domesticated animals. They live on pastures and farms, and they're essentially like alert animals, right? They don't have a whole ton of defenses, and they essentially live on someone's property and alert their animals of coyotes or other predators that are in the area, but not in the sense of like they're gonna do anything. Llamas are funny in the aspect of they're gonna be like, "Oh shit," and like run for your lives, and that's how the llamas are. Like they're going to alert you to run and get safety. They're not going to do anything except let you know. And I thought that was awesome and cool. So at this point, we stopped because all four of our llamas stopped and in unison saw the ram. And of course, I had to go and chase this beautiful animal with the drone. Look at this mature male bighorn ram. This thing was beautiful. He was in his element, and of course, I wanted to capture him and get him in the moment. But I also didn't want to harass him, so a little bit of footage to see him in his element doing his thing. And from this point, I was like, all right, cool. I got the shot, and then we headed back on to the trek. This was the final switchback. We started very, very high up at the top of the gorge and worked our way down over the course of some time. And once we got very much down to the end of this switchback was this beautiful spot that Stuart had set up and had been taking people for time. And Stuart knows about 30 different spots that he can take you to as well. And from this moment, we started looking for a place to park our llamas, right? We wanted to sit the llamas somewhere to where they had shade, and we also can take all the gear off of them to relieve them of the weight that they were carrying for us, which was phenomenal, right? And that spot was just a little too tight and cramped, so Stuart went off and found a beautiful spot up underneath a tree. When we parked our llamas, he then took us to the edge of the Rio Grand Gorge. And this was the most beautiful scenic view that I think anyone can experience. And again, you see how small we are in the middle of this gorge. It's vast, right? So at this point, Stuart left us to, get all the footage, get all of the selfies and the pictures, etc., while he went back and set up our lunch as well. You know me, I am the weirdo that's walking around with the flying camera, so I had to send it out and try to get some of the coolest footage that I could for everyone to see and share at home that is essentially watching. And hopefully you can live through me, because I know not everyone is as adventurous as me. I started to send the drone off to get it lost, but at this point I couldn't send it up very high, because if you look at the trees in any of the shots, even before these shots, you can see the trees were blowing very hard, right? The trees are blowing and the drone was still, doing its thing and capturing some footage, right? You can see right here, the drone is rock solid, but the trees are blowing all over the place. Man, the Rio Grand Gorge, to see this up close and see this river that has essentially carved this gorge over the course of thousands of years, right? You have to understand, this river was originally at the top of the gorge, and the gorge didn't even exist, right? It was just the land, but over years, this rushing river has carved this entire gorge in this area for Stuart and his pack of llamas to essentially show us what it's like to be out in the middle of the world. So from this point, the ladies were chatting, and I just wanted to take in the view. It was peaceful. These were the only people that I saw the entire day. There was not a single other soul out here, because we are out in the middle of the world, right? There's no one out here. There are still unmapped petroglyphs out here, and Stuart ended up taking us to see some as well. At this point, the wind calmed down, and once the wind calmed down, I sent the drone up to get some incredible footage. Again, I'm still a little bit weary in regards to sending it. It can fly like 5 miles out, and I don't know if I want to send this thing 5 miles out on a 30-40 minute battery. So for right now, with this first trek, this first adventure, and sharing my my explorations with the drone, I just really wanted to get some nice shots. But trust and believe, when me and Stuart trek Wheeler's Peak, which is the tallest mountain in New Mexico, I'm gonna send the drone out to get some even crazier footage than this. So of course, stick around, go into the shorts, watch the more POV personal interaction and footage. Of course, subscribe so you can watch the next video. It's not going to be the exact next video, but the upcoming videos are going to be of me and Stuart climbing a mountain. And this is going to be my very first mountain. And of course, having an incredible navigationalist like Stuart, I feel very comfortable in my ability to get up there. At this point, the wind started to subside, so I started to get a little bit more comfortable with flying the drone and getting it up high. And no, this was not a picture. This is just how crazy the drone looks, right? This is live footage of this bad boy about a mile up in the sky. The best thing I could have invested in regards to my adventures and the travels that I do. I just really like to be outside. I really like to explore and do these things as far as just seeing the world from a different angle, and having this drone and going back and looking at this footage. I've watched this probably, I have hours of this footage, and I've probably watched this 30 times. It's incredible how small we are in this gorge, right? And to have the drone give you such an phenomenal view of the river and of the volcanic rock and the beautiful autumn trees. Like I said, at this point, we were just waiting, hanging out as Stuart got the lunch and the llamas prepared and situated and hung out. And then he came back and got us, and we had a beautiful lunch. It was exactly what we needed to give us enough energy to get ourselves back up the gorge on our way out. I was trying to be cool and get the cool drone shot, and my black ass almost slipped. I was like, let me get down before I become a statistic, because at that moment, I was like, man, everything is going too beautifully today. So I got down immediately. Was not playing no games. Let me get back on this solid ground. But before we left, Stuart took us a mile deeper into the gorge and showed us some 400-year-old Native American petroglyphs. And if you want to see those, again, those are going to be on my Instagram, and they're also going to be up underneath the shorts here. Phenomenal experience, you guys. If you are ever in New Mexico, I highly recommend you guys take the time to just reach out to Leah. That is Stuart's wife. Stuart himself, he's the llama whisperer. He is the navigationalist. He has 35 years of going out into the Rocky Mountains and exploring this land. So if you really want to have a great time, reach out to these guys. Of course, tell them that Ricky sent you because I talked about this and I had such a great time with them. And this was the drive out, right? As you can see, we are on the edge of the gorge driving. It was a beautiful drive in. It was a beautiful drive out. And I even got to see the snowy mountain cap of the mountain that I'm going to be driving. And you're crazy if you think I didn't stop to pull over to get even more stunning footage of this gorge, man. What a beautiful, we live on such a beautiful planet, and I just can't wait to continue to capture and share this with you guys, because this is the stuff that I do. And also, this view was worth it. Again, final shouts out to Leah and Stuart with Wild Earth Llama Adventures here in Taos, New Mexico, as well as Santa Fe and the surrounding areas that border the Rocky Mountains. If you want to have a phenomenal experience, their number is here. Check it out. Go have a good time. Check you later.